Welcome back to my van build. Now, where did we leave off? Started with an empty van. By the end of the first week, I had the floor down and the Reflectix up. And by the end of the second week, I had walls and a ceiling. And the bed frame. Starting to think about moving things in. Now I'm at the end of week 3, and it's starting to look like home. I'm starting to slow down, you guys, but I had to get some color in the van. That black and brown was driving me crazy. So on one of the few sunny days, I got the furniture out and started painting. I primed it all with Kilts first and used some spray paint that I had left over from this winter, as well as added some gold. And I got some of the furniture back in and tried to figure out where to put it. This is the frame I made for my oven that'll sit down inside it. There's a place there for the propane hookup to come out of. I got the panels up. Well, they're not hooked up. I got them made. There's a hole there for the outlet, which I made last night, and it works. I plugged it in. I rigged a little bit because the walls aren't that deep. And the only outlet cover I could find was for a regular house. It was like 3 inches deep. Those electric boxes are pretty tough stuff. I thought I would just saw through it and make it shorter, but that didn't work. So I drilled a bunch of holes in it until it finally fell apart. Not pretty, but functional. I used this cord replacement and then hooked it into the outlet. It was a pretty simple wiring task. Just match the positive, negative, and neutral. I don't necessarily recommend you do this at home, but this is what I did. So here's that little blue box that I cut down. I took cover over it. Voila. I have an outlet up front with USB ports. So I can plug this into the inverter when I want to and charge stuff up. It's 3 o'clock already and I've done nothing towards the van. I did take my mom to the dentist today, and hung around with her for a little bit. But I was also on the internet too long this morning. And I was up too late last night, and it looks like it's going to be another late day. So let me show you what I'm doing in here, in my fancy workbench garage. So this I've been using in my bedroom in the house, and I kind of like it. It's very functional. It's very light. And I'm going to fix it up a little bit and repurpose it. It'll be my pantry. So I added some wood on the sides and painted it. And to keep things from falling off, here it is. Contact makes it. It's not, you have to glue it down. It doesn't have its own stickum stuff. But they call it solid grip liner. Is wonderful. I had it on a shelf, several shelves in Faith. And unless I went on a really, really bumpy road, you could leave anything on the top, the surface, and it will not slide. I don't think I've shown you my refrigerator yet, but this is it. Oh, it's not like it's pretty big, isn't it? It's not actually big. The walls are thick. So somebody said it wasn't very well insulated, but the walls are awful thick. It has these little baskets that come out. Has a hole in the bottom to drain any water. Condensation. Has a 12 volt and a regular 120 volt plug. I was thinking about it last night, and the battery power, without having to charge it constantly, I ended up buying a second battery, which just it's just one damn thing after another damn thing. I'll never get this done. But so here's the battery that I had in Faith. It's a new one that I pulled out. There's still one in there, but here was the other kicker. It's a deep, it's a wet cell. And an RV, that's not a problem. It has its own compartment outside. But in a van, there's that issue about whether there's gases or not. It seems that just about everything related to vans comes with some sort of concern that you're going to asphyxiate or blow yourself up. So I have to build a box. So I was researching, first of all, why do I need a box? And how do I build a box, and what do I need to have? And there's some, usually, actually always, guys that have some weird contraption where it's ventilating out the door, blah, blah, putting holes in walls. I'm not doing any of that. And then there's Bob Wells, who says he sleeps with them under his bed and he's never had a problem. So that's all extremes. Anyway, I found this crate. It actually fits this box, this battery perfectly. So I'm going to build this up a little bit, add some sides to it. But the important thing is you need ventilation in the bottom to allow air in, fresh air. And then you need something in the sides, because heat rises, to let the heat go out. And it seems to have all of those components. I had some lumber left over, so I just used my scraps and built a box as best as I could. It's not pretty, and it's probably not even what I'm supposed to have, but there it is. Alright, this is what happens when you work late at night and you're dumb. But here is the answer. So that's, I just stuck that on there. I'm hooking up the electric. So I got the lights working. And I got this 12 volt working. But then I didn't have a place to put it. So then I used the wrong size screw and it got stuck in there. And so I'm going to show you how Speed Out works. Speed Out. So it removes bad screws. You grind a little hole in it. Didn't quite have that camera angled right, so I'll just tell you that Speed Out comes in really handy, and I got the screw out. Let me just be perfectly clear. These are not how-to videos. These are maybe how not to do videos. But here's what I'm doing. I wonder if I could take that out. I had this 12 volt plug, and I did have the foresight to run the lines before I paneled. It comes down here, and I have this nice little conduit thing so it won't rub and break somewhere in the middle. These won't be the actual, these were all I had. So I will change these, but I'm just trying to get things set up right now. So I had this 12 volt outlet that I want to put up for the fan and anything else I want to run back here. And I didn't have a place to put it. So originally I was going to put it down in here because they frickers stick out for, you know, about 1.5 inches. Well, who's got a wall that's that thick? So it won't. I could punch out the insulation, but then I didn't have any place to stick it, and I was like, go in here. So then I stuck it up here, and then you saw me pull the screw out finally. So I drilled a 1-inch hole in a 2x3, widened it a little bit with a jigsaw, which I won't be able to figure out right now. There it is, I think. Now, there's one way that it actually... Okay, there you go. And then I can attach it to this. I still have room to attach the gear. And then I think I'll plop it here, because that was originally why I ran this line here. And it'll be out of the way. I have to get some things to anchor these. I could actually pull this out and stick it behind and bring it down under the wall. Clean that up. So that works. So I was reading online about how far the fuse box needs to be, because in the RV, the fuse box is on the other side of a wall, and I didn't know if you needed to separate them. All I'm running on this battery, at least right now, is a light, an LED, which I got up, look, and it works. And the fan, so it won't draw very much, and that should be plenty. Charge it, I would think, not very often, every other day, depending upon how much I use the inverter, which seems to draw a lot of energy. Look, I put down new flooring. And of course, it doesn't stretch all the way. I did know that when I bought it, it was only 4x6. This is rubber recycled tires, and it does have a little bit of an odor, but I'm told that dissipates I got it because it's soft. Well, but it's not soft. But when you're crawling around on the floor, I didn't want really, really hard. So anyway, I don't know if it's it's really heavy, but the weight is spread out. So that's what I'm trying to figure out this morning, is balancing weight. I have a shelf that'll go there. I have a little bookcasey thing that'll go there. And my original plan was to put the refrigerator here. I got the outlet hooked up and run the cord back to the inverter and use that for the battery. And I was going to also put a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug there and use that most of the time. But then I got this brilliant idea one night. I should not shop at night. I shouldn't work late at night, and I should not shop definitely after 10 o'clock at night. So I got this brilliant idea to get a battery to just run the refrigerator. It's a brilliant idea. Well, it's not brilliant, but it's a good idea. The battery weighs 130 pounds. It's a 200 amp battery. And even that, I don't know how long that'll run that refrigerator. There's a lot of questions in the air. But now I don't know where to put it. And the battery I got is an AGL-M. So it's sealed. I don't have to worry about gases. I don't have to worry about water. I don't have to worry about any of that, except I have to worry about where the hell do I put a 130-pound battery that will balance it. I'm trying to balance the weight. I don't want to put it in the back, because that just seems like 200 pounds in the back before I even put stuff into storage seems excessive to me. So now my morning dilemma is, do I have to rearrange everything? I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Here's what I really want to do. I want to take out this passenger chair. I'm not going to have a passenger. But there's an issue with the airbags. So you can't just take it out like it. Otherwise the airbag will go off spontaneously and blow your head off or something. So I got to call the Ford dealer today. And I have a feeling they're going to say, oh my God, no, you can't take that seat out. But there is a way of doing it. You have to get some sort of something. Anyway, that's this morning's dilemma. I need more coffee. So here's the new battery, 200 amp hours, 130 pounds. The FedEx driver was kind enough to dump it into the van for me. And I was going to leave it that way, but somebody said it has to lay down or you'll blow up. They didn't really say that. They just said it wouldn't work right. Back to that shelf, I had some wood left over and I got it attached. Made sure it was going to fit in the space I thought about and got it painted. By the end of this day, I was feeling like it's looking pretty good. 12-volt outlet's working. And the outlet cover actually fit in that space. That was an accident. I needed some time off. So I had some lunch with a good friend who I hadn't seen for a while. Ran some errands with my mom. And just didn't do van stuff. That will be my water. It's going to be quite primitive. I got a little pump. I'll have this under it. I can't hook the stove up yet, but I kind of like the stove. See how it works. I needed a hose with a regulator. Some people said you didn't. Some people said you did. Just to be on the safe side, I got one. But it's back ordered. And I'm waiting for it. It should come next week. Here's my little cute 5-pound canister. Anyway, today I'm going to apply more insulation. So I'm going to get these doors insulated and hopefully cut out 2 panels today. So what I did is I took all the pink stuff I had left and I just stuffed as much of it in the doors as I can. And then I took the Reflectix, see I said it right that time, the Reflectix, and crammed it in there as much as I can. I'm hoping if I get the doors done, it'll cut down on the heat. This is, I think, a really pretty piece of wood. It has nice, interesting designs. It's also, so I'm going to try to work with that today and get all those cut out. It really is pretty wood. This was a lot harder to do than I thought, and it's kind of a sloppy job, but I like them. Then I found this old quilt top that was my mom's and stuck it over the bed and put the mattress in, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. But the heat factor has me a little bit worried. So I'm working out a couple simple tarp ideas to shelter us from the sun, and I'll say more about that next time. You read these forums, you'd think you're just going to blow up. And maybe I will. So if I do, then you can, at my eulogy, you can go, well, she knew she was going to blow up.